Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because we are cracking open a brand new file. We're establishing our Galactic Dossier theme to analyze one of the most visually striking and mechanically fascinating transformations in the entire Omnitrix database. We're talking, of course, about the master of magnetism himself, Lodestar.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Metal meet magnetism. This is the iconic line Lodestar dropped before absolutely letting loose on Generator X during their crossover event, and it perfectly encapsulates his undeniable cool factor. He doesn't just manipulate his environment, he commands it with this absolute authority that forces even the most advanced technology to quite literally fall apart at his feet. It's a massive hook that promises action, and let me tell you, Lodestar absolutely delivers on that promise.
Start, we really have to look at his name. Now, a lodestar is traditionally a star used as a navigational reference, much like Polaris, the North Star. But etymologically, it's also deeply connected to lodestone, which is a naturally occurring, highly magnetized piece of the mineral magnetite, and this brilliantly illustrates how his very name perfectly grounds his character design. It marries the cosmic, spacefaring navigational elements of his alien origin with the raw, elemental earthiness of natural magnetism. It's a beautifully layered name for a multi-layered being, right?
Let's pull up his core database stats to give us a solid baseline of who and what we're actually dealing with here. Lodestar belongs to a species known as the Biosovereigns, hailing from the aptly named planet Maxwell. For those of you keeping track of voice talent, he was brought to life by the legendary D. Bradley Baker, who gave him that distinctively raspy metallic resonance. And if you're trying to remember when he first popped onto our screens, that was in the Alien Force episode titled Simple. Fun little fact here, the Omnitrix actually unlocked him off-screen just a bit earlier after a reset, but Simple was where he made his grand on-screen debut to deal with some heavily armed red troops.
Now, looking at his biology, Lodestar has an incredibly unique physical appearance. He is essentially a body constructed of living alien metal. He sports these massive crab-like claws for hands, which are actually somewhat similar to brainstorms, but his absolute most defining feature is his head. It's literally a chunk of floating metal suspended purely by a glowing magnetic aura in an arch between his shoulders.
What's really interesting about this is the sheer mind-boggling versatility of his powers. We're looking at top-tier electromagnetokinesis. We are talking about magnotelekinesis, the ability to levitate and move massive metal objects without ever making physical contact. He can generate powerful electromagnetic force fields to block energy attacks. He can use magnetic dismantlement to quite literally tear apart heavily armored enemies, like the time he effortlessly dismantled a massive Techonon robot. But it goes way beyond combat. Because of his physiology, he can survive in the absolute vacuum of space, and he can even act as a living compass by tuning into planetary magnetic fields. He is literally a walking Swiss Army knife for anything remotely metallic.
So, the crucial point to make here is this stark, honestly kind of hilarious contrast. On one hand, you have his ultimate power, total mastery over ferromagnetic metals. Give him a robot, a spaceship, or a guy in a metal suit, and Lodestar is king. On the other hand, you have his ultimate kryptonite, non-magnetic objects. If an enemy attacks him with something that lacks iron or magnetic properties, his primary offense is instantly negated. I'm talking about getting completely foiled by a creature like the Stalker, or as Generator Rex quickly figured out, basic road pavement. There's a brilliant, humorous irony in a cosmic being of immense power suddenly realizing he can't do a thing because his opponent is throwing literal rocks and asphalt at him. And then, there's his anatomy. As we noted earlier, Lodestar's head isn't physically attached to his neck. It floats in a magnetic field. While this looks incredibly cool, it makes his head a major, highly exploitable target. Opponents who are quick on their feet, like the Forever Knights, specifically the Red Knight, have definitely used this to their advantage. They can throw objects like throwing stars to make his head spin like a top, completely disorienting him. Or they can simply grab the head or knock it away with a counter-magnetic pulse, violently pulling his body along with it. It's a massive physiological blind spot.
So we've analyzed the biology, the immense magnetic strength, the hilarious weaknesses, and the deep lore of the biots of RTN known as Lodestar. I want to leave you with this question. If you woke up tomorrow with Lodestar's magnotelekinesis, how would you use it to hack your everyday life? Would you use it to find your lost keys, never sit in traffic by just lifting your car over everyone else, or just lazily pull the TV remote straight to the couch? Think about it, because the applications are truly endless. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning the world around you, keep looking closely at the details, and I will see you next time as we open another fascinating file.